I'm Jacob Hamilton,
And I'm Hidro Joseph.
and welcome back to the Hardwood Huddle, a basketball podcast where we break down the latest news in the games in the NBA and basketball world. Hidro, how we doing, man?
I'm good, man. Season starts next week. I'm ready to rock.
Right? I feel it's like long overdue at this point. I'm like itching for it. I'm itching for it. But might as well just jump into things. News around the league. You said you have news for me, and you go ahead and start.
All right, man. This is a huddle shot to you, hardwood huddle shot to you. I'm just gonna give you some quick takes on some stuff that I saw going around the league, and you just give me first thing that comes to your mind as it comes to that news. So let me know what you think. All right, quote. I think you could put him in the MVP discussion this year. That's what Tracy McGrady said about Evan Mobley. Go.
No, maybe. I hope that would be cool. But for our preseason awards, Evan Mobley is not a guy that like came to my head at all for the MVP. So no, I don't think so. Not yet. At least give him 2 years. But by that time, it's just going to be Wemby's league at that point.
Evan Mobley, by the way, is the Cleveland Cavaliers star forward, uh, drafted number 3 overall a few years ago. I think in
Yep.
2021. So he was the defensive player of the year last year. Another one I got for you. Moving on to Brooklyn, Joe Tsai on the Brooklyn Nets strategy in 2026. Joe Tsai is the owner of the Brooklyn Nets. Quote, we have one first round pick in 2026, and we hope to get a good pick. You can predict what kind of strategy we will use for this season. Unquote.
So they're
Go,
tanking.
Jacob.
So they're tanking. That's that is like the only thing in the NBA that you cannot like say or do publicly, and he just admitted to it. That's rookie behavior right there. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you're like, oh yeah, we're going for a championship. Then like just leave it at that, and everyone knows it's like, I mean, you got Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. on your team. Like, come on, come on now. Like, we knew that was the game plan from the jump.
I made sure he said quote. I made sure I said quote and unquote to let you know that that came straight from the top
Yeah,
before the
that
season started.
yeah, he's already
That's
just like,
funny.
hey, you know what? We're done. He's like, if we go 0-82, that's best case scenario.
By the way, they drafted like 5 guys this
Yeah,
last draft, and anyways, just look at our past episodes. We
we
certainly did
talked about it.
yeah, we talked about it for sure. Um, let's see what else I got. Keegan Murray, Sacramento Kings. Won't be the last time we talk about the Sacramento Kings
Yep.
on this segment. Suffered a torn UCL in his left thumb in the Kings preseason game in Portland, and he'll miss 4 to 6 weeks. He's extension eligible next week, so bad timing. What are
Did
your
he not?
thoughts on that?
Did he not sign the extension today?
Did that just happen?
I think so.
That might be true.
Because I thought that's what you were about to bring up. Yeah. 5 year 140.
5 years, 140 for a
Yep.
guy who. Okay,
So what's the math on
cool.
that? 140 divided by five. It's fine. That 20. I mean, it's the Kings. Like, we'll get deeper into it, I guess, with our next topic
It's
for the day.
28.
It's 28. That's fine.
I believe it's 28.
That's like average around the league now for like guys like Keegan Murray. So I mean, I'm not gonna be complaining about that.
All right. Well, congrats to him. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that he signed that. Um, that's cool. Let's see. Cooper Flag is already talking like a vet. Quote, I gotta find ways to help AD more, play off him a little better, help him impact the game when he's posting up, getting his ISOs. So I gotta find a way to help him a little bit more, but I think it's been huge trying to fit together. Unquote. That's Cooper Flag, number 1 overall pick for the Dallas Mavericks this past NBA draft.
I mean, that kid is phenomenal. I mean, legit kid, by the way. I don't say that just because he's younger than I am. He is a legit kid still. I think he had just turned 18. He was 17 when he was drafted, right? Or he turned 18 right before the draft. Like, and this kid's already talking like a vet. He's supposed to be going into his freshman year of college right now. Like, he should be in this upcoming class with AJ Dybance, the Boozer twins, and all that. And Peterson. I'm forgetting Darren Peterson, I think. But I mean, he's phenomenal. Like, I'll get more into Cooper Flag later, like super in depth. But he's phenomenal. Like, that's insane. He's thinking outside the box. That's what you want to hear as a Mavs fan.
I'm not exactly sure because when I read between the lines, it sounded like he was trying to be the vet for AD, trying to spruce him up because AD seemed to be struggling in his eyes and he needed to work to get him better
Yeah,
ISOs or
I mean,
something like that.
looking at it
So
from
maybe that was like a reflection on AD's physical condition or otherwise. I don't
that's
know.
true. From looking at that makes sense from looking at it that way. I mean, I guess we'll have to see. I mean, they play tonight, right? At 7. What time is it? Yeah, so like in 45 minutes. So we'll see how they adjust for today's game.
Um, Russell Westbrook, he they discussed with him about potentially playing overseas. He's like, there's been zero discussions to date about playing abroad, and he was listed on a bunch of lists about. I can't believe he's not in the league, along
Yeah.
with the likes of like Ben Simmons and Corey Joseph and stuff like that. It was like it's crazy to think that a future Hall of Famer and former MVP would be amongst the list of like also rans at
Yeah.
this stage, and he's a guy that wanted to play. Well, the news broke recently that he signed with the Sacramento Kings, so now
Yeah.
he's back and he'll be probably scooping up some Keegan Murray minutes early, but I'm not exactly sure his fit. But what do you think about that signing?
Yeah, I mean, that was this morning, right? I woke up and I was like, whoa. Like, I mean, I kind of thought we were going to be a little bit till we actually saw that. I knew Russ was signing somewhere. I didn't think there was going to be a chance that he was like sitting in free agency. People want that type of veteran. Like, I mean, look at what he was doing for Denver last year, even though he wasn't like the greatest player, obviously, and he hasn't been for some time, but he still brings like good, like, he's like a good spark plug to bring off your bench. But yeah, I mean, I think it's odd that he chose Sacramento. I don't know, but I'd have to say that the Lakers probably threw him an offer out there. The Clippers probably not. The Warriors, because he wanted to stay in California, if I'm remembering correctly. But even like teams like Phoenix, like they would want him unless like they're full on the Colin Gillespie train. But I don't know. I I, I find it interesting because that Kings team is just going to be very, very weird. It's very old. But then you have a guy like Keegan Murray who gets signed for 28 million a year for the next 5. So they're an interesting squad. Who knows what's like? They could be a completely different team come the deadline. So maybe Russ gets his own team again to end off his career. Him and Demar
Hmm.
and Zach Levine because
Man, that's an
Sabonis is gone
interesting. That's
in
an
my
interesting
eyes.
combination.
Yeah, right. It's so weird. And Malik Monk, they got a weird squad. They're fun. They'll be fun to watch though.
Moving to Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Bucks are signing Alex Antetokounmpo to a two-way NBA deal, joining older brothers Giannis and Thanasis. Octagon's Alex Saratzis tells ESPN this marks the first time in NBA history that three brothers are on active roster contracts with the same team. Jacob, your
Crazy.
thoughts?
That's crazy. I mean, NBA champion Alex Antetokounmpo. By the way, he won the NBA championship before Giannis in the bubble with the Lakers. I think. Um,
Correct.
I mean that's cool. I mean it's already cool enough that Giannis had like the power to get Thanasis to like stick around and be on the Bucks for like the entire time he's been like a caliber enough player to have like say and pull and leverage. But it's cool. I wonder if something happens, like somebody gets hurt, they like call them up, and then like at the end of a game, all three of them are in the game together. That would be cool. like when we had the Bron and Bronny moments, like on the photos like that. Like those are stuff that like what makes the NBA special and cool to watch because it's like you can't really see that in any other sports other
So
than
so no
baseball.
so no talk about them being desperate to keep Giannis, and this is why they
Yeah,
do
I
what
mean,
they do. Okay.
if they're desperate enough to keep Giannis, like their squad wouldn't be what the squad is. Like that team is just like I mean,
I think he got another brother. They need to sign him too. Might as well.
I think they do too. I don't. There's a lot of them, and I think they have like a
I think there's
sister.
four, and I saw his like quote unquote biography, autobiography, or whatever. It was
The
a
Disney one.
movie. Yeah, yeah, it was good. It was just a while ago. That's why I don't remember how
Yeah,
many siblings
I
he
never
has.
watched that, but I see
Oh,
clips of it on my
it
For
was
You
actually
page on
good.
TikTok.
Let me see. Good story on Utah Jazz's Ace Bailey. He basically hasn't dribbled so far in the preseason despite averaging 22 and a half points. Uh, but then, yeah, he had 28 dribbles on 29 shots
It's crazy.
in the preseason. But also saw news that he's currently dealing with tendonitis in both of his knees. So he's doing that in pain, actually. So,
Yeah.
your thoughts?
Uh, that's crazy. That 29 shots on 28 dribbles, like that's like that Klay Thompson 60-point game where he had like what, like 11 dribbles. Obviously, there's a big difference between that amount of shots and that points, and then the amount of dribbles. Obviously, that's crazy. Tendonitis in both knees is not good, but that's like I don't know. That's not something. If I was a Jazz fan, I'd be like, oh my god, Ace Bailey has tendonitis in both of his. I'd be like, okay, like I mean, it's preseason. Let him like play a few games like they have, and then just be like, okay, well, we'll just wait till Wednesday because they play Wednesday. So this upcoming Wednesday. So I mean, he's a lanky fella, like me. I have tendonitis. I think so. Like that's just what happens to us long guys.
You think? Oh, your knees
They
just
don't
hurt.
know.
That's
They
all.
never told me. I went to two different doctors and they were like, don't know. So
No
I
NBA
need to have like
doctors
a
though.
wheelchair thing in my car so I get like front row parking. And maybe Ace Bailey can get that now so he doesn't have to walk as much. You know, Utah, I don't know how big their parking lots are, but I don't know. I've been to Utah 3 times in my entire
Oh, nice. I still
life.
haven't been. I'm working on it though.
But yeah.
Uh, the last one. Malcolm Brogdon set to make the Knicks regular season roster,
Yeah.
but today informed the Knicks officials that he wants to retire. So he says, today I officially begin my transition out of my basketball career. I proudly given my mind, body, and spirit to the game over the last few decades. With the many sacrifices it took to get here, I have received many rewards. I am deeply grateful to have arrived to this point on my own terms and now to be able to reap the benefits of my career with my friends and family. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all who have had a place in my journey. So, Malcolm Brogdon, former Rookie of the Year,
Yeah.
is retiring.
Uh I was I was sitting on my recliner right here and I was on the phone with my friends and my buddy, he's a Nick fan, and I was like, Malcolm Brogdon retired. He was like, funny joke, you got me. And I was like, no, like he retired. Like it just seemed like random, and obviously like knowing like I don't know, like I just wasn't expecting to see that, like but that is like terrible timing for the Knicks, really, because Russ just signed with Sacramento. That would have been another spot where he could have gone out. Like they have what Kolick, Jordan Clarkson, and Brunson. Like he could have been like, who knows how good Kolick's actually going to be? He could be slotted down to a two. Like there's space for Russ on that roster. That's all I kind of really thought about it. Obviously, other than like him just retiring and being like, whoa. But I think good congratulations to Malcolm Brogdon, NBA Rookie of the Year, second round pick. Hey, more than I've ever done. Congratulations to you, my friend.
It reminds me of how I drafted Amari Cooper on my fantasy team, and he promptly retired before the season started.
He
Yay
did.
me!
He just don't love the game anymore.
Anyways, that's all I got for you there.
Sweet.
And we got our predictions coming up, yo.
Yep. Now to preseason award predictions. Obviously, this is our first time doing preseason awards because this is going to be our first full NBA season because what we started like a little bit after the All Star break last year. So I'm interested to, and we did an award show right before the awards actually came out. But I feel like awards are actually no awards kind of on my paper right here, they kind of look the same in the sense of at least two of them. But I have my dark horses to kind of just make it a little more fun and all that. So let's start with the most least important one. I'd probably say coach of the year. Coach of the year, right? That everyone likes coach of the year, but
That's
out of the
not the least important one. You want to know why? Because it's a predictor. The person who wins coach of the year ends up losing his job in like 5 years. So you really don't want it. Eric Spoelstra has never won coach of the year, and look at
yeah,
his
and
longevity.
he's
He's
sitting
been a
pretty.
coach for 16 years.
Yeah, which is
Head coach
crazy,
16 years.
which is insane. Hey, LeBron wanted him fired though, so there was a second there where he was on the hot seat, but
He
um,
could have won the coach of the year that year too, by the way. So there's
yep.
that. The closer you are to
Um,
coach of the year, the the further away you are from job security, apparently.
yeah, NBA is so weird with that. It's like you win coach of the year one year, you're fired, not the next, but the year after. It's like you're out of here. Um, so yeah, I mean, let's start with coach of the
I've
year.
seen a coach of the year fired the same year he won it. Uh in Toronto.
Nick Nurse.
And no. Nick Nurse replaced him. I forget his
Oh,
name.
oh man, because he turned into the Pistons head guy, the head office guy for the Pistons. Why am I Dwayne Casey?
Dwayne Casey, that's correct.
Dwayne Casey.
Uh
Dwayne
he won it
Casey.
in
Haven't thought of that name in a
2018,
little
got
bit.
fired, replaced by his assistant Nick Nurse. They won the championship 2018-2019 season,
It's crazy.
and then the pandemic.
Yeah,
Kawhi Leonard's only year in Toronto probably should have stayed instead of
funnier in
allegedly
Toronto.
take allegedly take a contract to make up the funds
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
lost from not staying in Toronto. Anyways, uh, who do you got for your coach of the year?
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
I have Mike
Wouldn't be the
Brown.
first time he's won it. Pretty sure he's
No.
won it maybe twice in his career. Maybe
Uh, I can check. I can check. I
I would be
think.
upset if I was Mike Brown and I found out that I won coach of the year
Yeah. Yeah.
again.
Right. Uh, I mean, hold on. Let's see. Mike Brown. I know he won it once. Yeah, '09 and 2023.
That's correct. Yeah,
Two time.
you know
Two
he
time.
won one with LeBron,
Yep.
and you know he won one with
In Sacramento.
Sacramento, because Sacramento
Yeah.
had a good year that 1 year.
Yeah. So I got Mike Brown. I'll
That
just
means
give
you
my
like the Knicks.
yeah.
I
Yeah. I
better
mean,
I
I've
better
been
hear some
saying that.
names. I better hear some Knicks names in your other awards. Then that's what I'm thinking.
Uh, we'll see. Uh, Mike Brown. I don't know. I think the East is so open this year. I don't think Atkinson can because Atkinson won it last year. I think it's hard to top what the Cavs did last year, and that's kind of what they have to do for Kenny to win it. But I think Mike Brown probably not has it locked up in a sense, as long as like they're the number one seed and like it's pretty clear that they're the number one team in the Eastern Conference, which I think they could be and probably should be with the roster that they have, with everyone on that team. So yeah, Mike Brown. And then I have dark horses for every other for all the awards along with coach of the year. So I'll give you yours and then or you give us yours and then I'll go off my dark horse and just say something a little about that.
Um, so I'll just sneak a dark horse in here real quick and say Quinn Snyder,
Yeah.
the Atlanta Hawks, but my pick is going to be Ime Udoka for the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
I feel that despite the fact that they won 52 games last year, uh, with good health, they could go higher than that. Um, and a lot of it is going to be their defense. They're going to have a defensive imprint on many games, and it's going to be difficult to score against the length of that squad. So it's mostly going to be for the defensive end of the court, more so than the offense. The offense might be a little helter skelter when it's not in Kevin Durant's hands,
Yeah.
because there's not enough guards on the Rockets to for you to feel comfortable with the way they're handling the ball over the course of a 82 game season, anyways. But I do feel that Ime Udoka on the defensive end will have that team locking people up, and
Oh yeah.
that's gonna get him to Coach of the Year.
Yeah. No, he was it was between him and I have this seems interesting, but I have Joe Mazzulla as my dark horse because obviously no Tatum for however long that we know. But with the squad that they have until Tatum's gone, like who really knows like what this team can do? I mean, the East is still open. Who knows how healthy Philly's going to be? Like this team could be like a 6 seed or like if they're super good, maybe get to like a 5 seed super weirdly. It wouldn't surprise me off of Jaylen Brown. And I know that this team is not what they were last year, but if Joe Mazzulla can do something with it, it wouldn't surprise me. But it was between Joe Mazzulla and Ime as well for my dark
J-
horse.
J- Joe Mazzulla's got a quote out there that was like something along. Oh, you the one that sent it to me, right? Where
The preseason
he refused to. He preferred not to have any preseason games. He preferred just all practices.
practice.
Um, He'd be like, I just wish we could practice for 30 days straight and then start the season. Uh, I have a prediction that has nothing to do with our preseason award predictions. I predict that Boston's going to lose this year. It's going to be awful.
Yeah. No,
They're going to
like
be a below 500 team. He's Joe Mazzulla isn't going anywhere near Coach of the Year. I
see
think they're
like
going to
that
lose
that's
whatever
like
mojo they had from 2 years ago. I think they already lost it a little bit with the way they were losing a bunch at home last
yeah.
year versus the year before where you couldn't beat them at home.
Yeah, they were
And
like super they were like I think they had lost like 4 games at home that year that they won the championship or like single
maybe
digits. Like
less.
yeah, like single digits, like super low. Like I mean that team was really good. But
But now they're missing Kristaps Porzingis and
Drew
Jason
Holiday.
Tatum for however long they're going to lose him.
Yeah.
And then they gave Drew Holiday away. So I like their chances to be terrible.
Yeah, so do I. Like that. It's like a coin flip for that. I think they can be like weirdly not like competitive, but it's the East, so like you don't have to have like a crazy record, but you just have to be impressive for what you have. But or I could like what you said, see it being like bottom of the East, which I don't think that'll happen unless they like shut down Jaylen Brown. But he did get knee surgery this offseason. Um, but
Let's do a gentleman's bet. How you feel about pick a team in the East that you think that Boston will be better than,
I
since you
think
say the East is kind of weak.
Brooklyn.
Nah, I don't
Um,
want to do Brooklyn. How about like the Wizards?
the team that's better than Boston.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll take Wizards on that.
you you'll
Like
take the Wizards as better than Boston.
I think
I'm
the
trying to
like
find one that you'll be like, nah, there's no way that they're better than Boston, and I'll be like, I'll take that bet.
Chicago.
Chicago. You think there's no way Chicago's better than Boston this year? Is that
No,
what you're saying?
I don't think there's a chance.
Yeah, I agree. Give me another
Yeah.
one.
Let me think. Um, Charlotte. Do you think
I
Charlotte's
feel
gonna
like
be better?
Charlotte's. Just a quick take on Chicago. I feel like Chicago's gonna sell on their assets
Oh
this
yeah,
season.
I
I
agree.
think they're gonna.
That's why.
I think
That's
they're
why
gonna.
I
I
don't
think they're
think
gonna
they're gonna
tank. They're gonna sell. But give me another one.
Charlotte. Like, do you think? Like, I don't. I think Charlotte's gonna be better than them. Maybe like depending. It just
You
kind of depends on
you got to
health for
give me
them.
one that you feel for sure that Boston is better than, and then if I go the other way, we can do a gentleman's bet on that. That's what I was saying. We can get to it later if you want to do that. We can keep going,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. Because when we come, like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, we'll get back to that. Get back to me on that one. I'll
all right.
start thinking about it. You want to start with? Let's. Should we do most improved?
Most
You can
improved player.
you can open this one
Um,
up. I opened it up last time.
I think that it's got to be somebody on a team that has somebody that got hurt. So, for instance, Portland's got Damian Lillard on on their team that's hurt and is going to miss most of the season, if not all of the season. So, I suspect that somebody in Portland could potentially win most improved player. Fred VanVleet is out for the season for as the point guard for the Houston Rockets. So I suspect somebody on their squad could win most improved, like a Amen Thompson, for instance.
Yeah.
Could be an MVP candidate, and all of a sudden, that's most improved, even though he's a second year player, so it shouldn't count. But they do most improved for any level. But I'm gonna go with a pacer. I'm gonna go Nemhard.
Nemhard. Yeah.
Um, I So Tyrese Halliburton is another guy who could potentially miss most of, if not all of the season. When, of course, you saw he tore his Achilles in Game 7 of the NBA Finals a few months ago, which was sad because he looked like he was gonna take that game
Yeah.
before he got injured. And I feel like a lot of players on Indiana are gonna try to step into the void there, and they have a coach that's not gonna let them slide. So
Oh,
I
absolutely.
like I like Nemhart as a potential candidate to win.
I like Nemhard here too. Um, I have Brandon Miller for the Hornets. He played 20. I have his stats right here pulled up. Yeah, he played 27 games last year, and in those 27, it was 21 points, 5 boards, and 4 assists. Like, I mean, he's no joke. Like, I think he had like a slower of a rookie season than everybody thought he would have had coming out of Alabama. And I liked him coming out of Alabama a lot. Um, so yeah, I think Brandon Miller, just like health, obviously, and that has a lot of stuff to do with just that entire Hornets roster in general with Lamelo, and then hopefully Knipple stays healthy. But yeah, I think Brandon Miller, and then I would have to say Nemhard as my second place, but a dark horse guy. Um, I don't think this is gonna happen,
Say
but
Zion.
it
Say Zion.
most improved.
Yeah, why not?
You think he's gonna go from like 28 to like 35 points a game? Like that's a
I
hard
mean,
one for Zion.
if he went from 28 games to 40 to 82, that would be great.
Yeah, I have Jalen Green
Jalen Green
as a dark horse.
as a
Like, what
homer
if
pick.
he takes like a? That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I don't think this is gonna happen, but it's a dark horse. What if like Point Booker, right? Because the Suns want to keep Booker at point guard. Booker, like with that pass playmaking mentality that he seems to have and doesn't want to score the ball, like opens a lot of extra shots up for Jalen Green. Like that's what I'm thinking. Like and more efficient on like offense because obviously his problem is just efficiency and keeping up like the pace that like being the leading scorer on your Rockets last year and then having like 13 points, 10 points, 9 point, 8 point games in the playoffs. Like, what if like he just completely turns that around somehow? Not saying it's gonna happen. That's why it's a dark horse. It's like the darkest of the horses out in the field. But like it's something that I thought of. I was like, maybe Jalen Green makes a step.
It seems like a homer pick. Who's your coach? Phoenix Suns coach.
What's his name? Oh my gosh. Why am I blanking on his name? Oh my god, the old Cavs coach. He's super defensive minded. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Jaden or Jordan
Ah,
Ott. Jordan Ott. Jordan Ott.
Jordan Knott. Yes, that's right.
Jordan Ott.
Uh, Jordan Knott. I think so. You think he'll play a little bit like Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland or something? Devin Booker.
Like,
Like you,
mm,
you think he'll play? They'll play like a Cleveland style of offense.
well, I don't know if it will be like that, but I mean, watching literally almost like every Suns home game last year and the 2 years before that, and even more than that. I mean, Booker's like playmaking, like when he's in the point guard, he's not looking to score right away. He's looking to pass. He's looking to find people, and I don't like that. I don't want Booker playing point guard. I've never been a person to say that he should be, but they're obviously going to run it. That's our projected starting lineup is him at the one and then Jalen at the two. So I mean, maybe Book can help him take that next step, like as just like a like grow up in a sense. Even though Jalen Green missed his first game in the last 2 years, being a Sun, and that kind of says a lot about his offseason training. Maybe just not being ready for preseason games. But I don't know. It was just
I
a
don't
thought.
I don't like when people transition to point guard late in their career
Neither do I.
or
I think it's stupid.
later on in their career. I like when you are a point guard like within the first 3 or 4 years of your career.
Yeah.
Like you could be a different spot and then move to point guard within the first 3 or 4 years. But point from going somewhere to point guard and you're in like your ninth, eighth, ninth, 10th year. I've never really seen that work out. I don't have any examples of that working out.
No,
I
neither do I.
definitely
And
feel like there's a possibility that Devin Booker checks out if the Suns get off to a bad start because
I
he
agree.
got his money, right?
Yeah.
Because one of your things you said earlier was that you thought Russell Westbrook would be a good fit for Phoenix, and I would agree, especially if you thought a speed it up and let Jalen Green kind of unleash in the full court as
Yeah.
opposed to do a whole bunch of slow it down type stuff. You would
Because
want
that's
a guy to
because
push the ball like a Russell Westbrook. Even coming off the bench would have been more
that's
helpful and
exactly.
at least keep everybody in their same spots for good
Yeah.
portions of the game. And so if he came off the bench, you would just have to wait a little bit and then come back off the bench, and he'd still be close to California,
Yeah,
a one
that's
hour
exactly
flight
what me and
or
my
something
buddies were
like that.
talking about. And this Suns team is already going to be a fun team to watch in the season, just because it's just not a Suns uh, a Suns team that we've seen in so long, with KD being on the team and Bradley Beal, right? And Chris Paul even slows down the pace because he controls it because he's such a good playmaker, and understandably. But now we're like younger, so we can like kind of push the pace. And Russ, like you said, is a guy that keeps up the pace a lot. So that's and hey, maybe Jalen Green isn't going to win Most Improved Player. I don't ever see that happening, but it's the dark horse. It's like the hey, I'm gonna take that guy plus 10,000 odds on FanDuel, I think, or something. Probably not even have odds, but it's just a name.
All right.
Let's do Clutch Player of the Year. I mean, I only have like I have Luca as my Clutch Player of the Year. I think he's just a clutch time demon, like as he's always been.
I like Trey.
Trey Young, yeah. I think Trey Young won it last year. I could, or the year before. I mean, that's like Trey Young's award to win. Like it's either between those two for me. That's all I really have to say about clutch player. Let's do defensive player of the year. I have Wemby. I feel like he was gonna.
We can move on. It's Wemby as
Yeah,
long as he stays
Wemby.
healthy.
Dark horse is a man, I think, but it's going to be hard for him to ever win a defensive player of the year unless Wemby gets hurt. So
He's
we
got
need
too
to have
many
a
good
point.
defensive players on his team to make it about him in terms of being able to win it. I think it would be hard. Like the fact that Marcus Smart won that on that Boston Celtics team was an anomaly that I don't see being
Yeah,
repeated. It'd have to be something like that, and Wemby would have to play less than 65 games for
yeah,
that to be legitimate. But there's a
yeah.
rumor that Victor Wembanyama, San Antonio Spurs center, by the way, guys, if people who are new to basketball are trying to pick up on what we're talking about, Victor Wembanyama was the number one overall pick a couple of years ago for the San Antonio Spurs, and I wanted to say allegedly he grew over the summer, and he's now pushing 7'6" and a half with shoes on.
So he's like
So
what, seven
a
five and a
monster.
half barefoot.
I think there was a quote from like Boban Marjanovic. He's like 7'3", 7'4", and he was like, "I'm looking up at Wembanyama right now."
And
So
then he's also gotten so much stronger as well. Like you see him now, like giving guys elbows and just like actually like not Shaq slamming the rim, but like he's like getting kind of just stronger. Like you can see it. And I mean, he was hanging out with like monks and stuff like during the off season. Then he was hanging out with KG, like monks, and then Kevin Garnett. Like how much different can you get from like very calm, cool, collected individuals, and then Kevin Garnett, who will say heinous things to people on the basketball court? It's funny, but
The Spurs
that's
are
why
the
I think
most difficult team to predict for me. I have no idea how that's gonna go. If
yeah,
if Wembanyama's the best player in the league, they should be one or two in the
yeah,
West.
and it literally would not
But
surprise me
nobody,
if
I
that
don't think
happened.
anybody's picking them to be that high. And I'm
No,
wondering why, if they have the best player, but they're gonna have the best player, and you have them as the 6 or 7 seed, but
yeah,
they got the defensive player of the year and a top 3 MVP candidate. Stop.
exactly. Um, Rookie of the year, I have I have
Come
Cooper
on now.
Flag,
Come on now. Let's move on.
Cooper
Cooper Flag.
Flag, and then dark horse I have Knippel, obviously, for Charlotte, and then Noah Essingay. I think he can, like if he really kind of shows like that he can play in the NBA. Like obviously people are what's that? What's the wave for? No,
It's Cooper Flag. We're not even worried about all these other
but
stuff.
who knows though, right? Because the Anthony Davis is on that team, so who
I
really knows
know
what can
you don't
happen?
even have to play 65 games to win this award. All he has to do is show up for a third of the games, and he's gonna win it.
True, fair, fair point, fair
Uh,
point.
uh, The only way I could see it not happening is if somebody just has a crazy year alongside a team that's like really, like, let's say for instance the San Antonio Spurs are like one or two in the Western Conference, and when
Yeah,
Miana's being destructive, he's gonna have a number two on his team. And what if that happens to be Dylan Harper just having a crazy year?
yeah,
Uh, that's literally the 10% window that I give anybody else to take the
fair,
award that already has his name on it, Cooper
fair.
Flag's name on
MVP. I have Jokic still. I mean, it's Jokic's award, and somebody's gonna have to take it from him. But I do think Wemby can win it. I think Wemby can win that award. I think the least that they have to be is top 6 in the West, and he's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. And then if as long as he's averaging like 27, 28 points, like 12 to 13 boards, like 3 blocks a game, like he was doing last year, and like a steal. I think that almost is wraps. Like I think like you almost have to give it to him at that point. So I have Jokic, but I think Wemby can win it. And then I also think Ant's a dark horse for me though. I think Ant's in there.
Just a side note, just like I mentioned earlier, you did not mention a single Nick for any of these awards, but
You
you
don't
got
really
them
have
winning.
to.
But you got Mike Brown winning Coach of the Year, so it's like, how did he win it if
I mean, think
nobody's
about it
scheduled
last
to
year.
nobody's in the running to win anything on
That
their team?
other than Mobley, who won an obvious Mobley was kind of even like a questionable one for Defensive Player of the Year last year. Because, but other than that, like if Wemby didn't get hurt, he wouldn't have won it. So then Kenny Atkinson would have had no award winners.
But he did.
Yeah, but he wasn't gonna have it. Like it just wasn't gonna happen unless Wemby got hurt, and he did, and he got a blood clot, and he was out for the rest of the season. Like it was just like it was best case scenario for Evan Mobley, and he shouldn't have even won it in the first place. My opinion.
All right.
So Jalen Brunson's
Uh,
him. I don't think he's gonna win MVP. I think it's literally just between those two guys. I don't think Shea can win it again. So I think he can, but it's gonna be
I,
hard.
I'm not a I'm not a big believer in anybody in the Eastern Conference winning uh MVP or any real major awards this year. I feel like it has a potential to be disastrous potentially for the NBA. Mark my words. There's going to be a conversation about getting rid of conferences, a serious
Oh,
conversation,
absolutely.
like a serious conversation about getting rid of conferences before 2025 is over. That's how bad the East
There was
might
even a there
potentially
were
look. And the number one reason why we're starting to point this out is because you got so many of the top rookies
in the
continuing
West.
to go west in in this draft lottery. So you could do one of two things. Instead of abandoning the Eastern Conference, you can do away with the draft lottery and just go
NFL
worst
style.
to, yeah, and just do worst to first like we used to do. Um
That
or
I
yeah,
don't know.
but I firmly believe like maybe you just make one like the last five worst records. They got to do coin flips or something to determine who gets 1 through 5,
Yeah, or
and
like
that
like
just
a
make
dice
that fair,
roll
and
or
then everything
something.
else is just slotted from 6 all the way down. Or there's also been different draft ruminations to say, like every 14, 15 drafts you get the number one pick, something like that, and it just
Yeah,
goes in order. I think it was called the wheel. I can send you some information on
yeah.
that.
I want to read up
A
on
lot
that.
of people have done some ideas to try to keep the NBA more balanced, so you don't have this disparity between East and West, because they're already doing away with East and West a lot of the time when it comes to like the All-Star game, because
Yeah,
it's been so bad, and you can't have like, shoot, g- give me like give me some random guy on the Eastern Conference. He's gonna be an All-Star this year if they
yeah.
split it between East and West, so it's
But
almost like they're actually gonna do like an international versus
uh,
American, I think,
yeah, which
All-Star
that'll
this
be
year.
cool. That'll be fun to watch. But it's also but then like if they do get rid of conferences, which has already been a conversation online at least like for the last like 8 years anyway, because of the West being so good and how good they've been. But it's also like then they're gonna have to like reiterate the division opponents again because then like because you can't just do like record like you should do like the however many divisions there are keep those the same or like adjust some when new teams come in but then like use those to slot in like the ones the twos and threes but there's no conferences so it can be like the number one seed in the whole thing can be San Antonio and the number two seed can be New York like I they just have to make it good, or it'll get messy, and then it won't be fun. Because then we'll just have like teams like blow like because that can like limit blowouts in the first round at the same time. Like that can limit like 4 game sweeps from like Thunder Grizzlies last year. That was a 5 game series. Obviously, Ja got hurt, but that can limit stuff like that, like super short series, and make it more entertaining.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable watching a Miami Heat team 4 or 5 games, 6 games
Yeah,
under 500, making the playoffs
yeah.
as a 10th seed. So
The,
the postseason tournament to get in, like 7, 8 versus 9 and 10 to get the last two spots. That was interesting. But then if you get a 10th seed making it to the playoffs
yeah,
and they're 4 or 5 games under 500, it looks the way it looks. The way they got blown out
yeah.
pretty seismically at the end there. To go back to the MVP, SGA, I think he'll just win it again. I don't see a reason why he shouldn't, because I do have the Thunder running away with the regular season once again. I don't see any reason why they
Fair.
wouldn't.
I just think it might be kind of hard for him to win it again. I think it was weirdly hard for him to win it last year. Because he had like a historical season. I think he deserves to win it more than just one time. I just think it's going to be like extra hard for him for some reason. Like they want to give it to Jokic all the time, but they can't because of voter fatigue. And I was a guy who thought Jokic was gonna should have had it, and then it was like a no, like Shea is having a historically great season. So it's hard. I mean, we're blessed with these like top like 5 guys in the NBA because it's like any of them at any point can like run away with the MVP if they really wanted to. And then Jokic is out here just averaging triple doubles, wanting to retire from basketball in 2 years.
It-
It's just funny.
it's just the NBA's got this problem where the East has so little big names to point to and say, hey, come watch this team versus this team,
Yeah,
Eastern Conference matchup, and those games go first, and then you got the big names that come later, but it's late at night. Like those games could end at 1 o'clock in the morning or so
yeah,
on the East Coast, and now that you got such fragmented um broadcasts
yeah.
between Amazon and ESPN and
NBC,
Peacock.
Peacock,
Yeah,
like
it's just
every streaming
you're
platform
going
other than
every which
Netflix.
way trying to find where these games are late at night, probably to try to
Yep.
catch LeBron James and LeBron James Jr. go up against Cooper Flag, or Victor Wembanyama going up against Nikola Jokic, or Kevin Durant going up against his former team in the Phoenix Suns, and
Yeah.
all that stuff. All of those games will be late night games. Steph Curry, uh, uh, Ant Man, Anthony Edwards in Minnesota, um, the the champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder and SGA and Chet Holmgren and them.
Yeah.
You have to watch those games late if you're in New York and Philadelphia and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Like they kick off at like, or not kick off, tip balls at like 10. Like, what is that? Like, that's crazy. It's crazy. But then like league pass is now almost like useless in a sense because like they're gonna eventually want to put them all on there on NBC and Peacock and Amazon and whatever show because then that'll bring more people into it's just NBA is on some weird stuff lately with their money and stuff, but maybe they're going broke. I don't know. Uh,
No,
I'm
they
not
just
in
signed a new deal. They're doing
exactly
the NBA is printing money.
exactly.
The WNBA is doing the
Different story.
same low key. So, and that championship just ended. Shout out to them, uh, to the
Aces.
Aces
The
for
ace.
winning the championship. So I thought that was pretty cool. Sweep in a sweep.
Yeah. To I guess my Mercury.
Phoenix. Yes. No, you
Uh,
told me not to say. You told me not to say their them hometown teams are your team.
they're
You
really
said,
not.
do not call them
I don't
hometown
claim the
teams my
Cardinals.
team.
Never have I ever claimed the Cardinals. I'm a Suns fan because I've been a Suns fan for a long time since like I was like a little kid, but never claimed the Cardinals. I go to ASU. I'm not an ASU fan, obviously. Like I don't know. I'm just not a good Arizona sports fan. I like the Diamondbacks um, because I don't know, but I'm also a Tigers fan, so I have two teams in baseball. So, but
I'm
yeah,
a proponent of having two teams in each sport. Actually,
I get
you'd
it.
be like, why hang your hat on one team when you can just pick somebody another team in a different conference even, and it's not like,
Double the amount of stress.
oh yeah, that's basically what it is. It's basically what it
Double
is.
the amount of stress, especially as a Suns fan. I'm like freaking out, like having mental breakdowns if we're being terrible. Like last year, it was bad. It was real bad. Like I don't know if I could have done that with another team. I would have been like tearing my eyeballs out of my head. But yeah, those are our preseason awards for the 25-26 NBA season. We'll probably come All-Star break, we'll probably do another one with the first half, just to kind of like see. We'll make sure we'll have all of our information saved for that point. But now this is one I've been excited to do since the offseason started and after the draft and free agency and all that stuff. The top 5 teams to watch going into the season. So for me, I don't have them in any order. I know you said you have them off the top of your head. I have 9, but I'll just go through them quick. They don't have to be super in depth. I just think they're going to be super fun teams
Nine. I
to watch.
thought you said top five. Why are you giving me nine?
Because honorable mentions.
Oh, all
Honorable
right. Go
mentions.
ahead.
I have like my top 5 who I think are top 5 teams. But it's also like my top 5 list. I'm like, I think this team should be in there, but I don't know who to bring down. But I'll just start with my 4 honorable mentions. I have the Knicks, I have the Mavs, I have the Pistons, and then I have the Hornets. Hornets just matters about health. And then for my top five, I have Houston, San Antonio, the Wizards, the Suns, and the Nuggets. No one, not in order, but those are just there's no order for those teams. Those are just the top five. Top
So
five from me.
so the Knicks are unwatchable and they got the coach of the year? Oh, they're not
Unwatchable. What do you
unwatchable.
mean? They're
You
in the
got
top.
them
They're in the top five. They're just
10,
honorable
top
mention.
9. They're in the
Top
top
nine.
9.
Top nine teams to watch, and I'll
All right,
watch.
all right, all
I'll probably watch the Knicks more than the Phoenix Suns anyway.
right. Give me your 5 again so I can just have them written down.
Denver, Phoenix, Washington, San Antonio, Houston.
Washington, San Antonio, and Houston. Okay, cool. For me, Atlanta.
Oh my god, I forgot
I,
about Atlanta, dude.
I really like Atlanta. I think that Detroit will be interesting.
Yeah,
So I got Detroit, San Antonio. San Antonio. I'm watching Victor Wembanyama. I'm watching Cooper Flag in Dallas, and I'm watching Kevin Durant. Like just the Houston teams my are my
yeah,
other three. I mean, I'm sorry, the Texas teams are my other three to watch. Honorable mention going to the champs, OKC. I feel like them
they,
being hunted as opposed to the hunter presents interesting challenges, and it'll start off right off the bat. They're gonna have Kevin Durant in the building for
yeah,
the banner ceremony
which is
to
crazy.
open the season,
It's
and
crazy.
uh, uh, the Rockets. Uh, Understanding Houston, we feel like we match up really well with them, and
Yeah,
the expectation is that we beat them, and it's very convincing in that first game. That that's expectations from the top down and everywhere on social media. The Houston Rockets are pretty. Um, I would say there's a lot of people that are interested in the Rockets and speak on the Rockets when it comes to the socials between Instagram and X and all of those. So it's going to be interesting to see how that first game even shapes out. But OKC defending their championship and trying to go through that 82 game slog and hopefully be on top of the West like they were last year. It's going to be tough when the
yeah,
people are coming for you. Going back to back is not something that's happened since 2018
yeah,
in the NBA. And that was a Kevin Durant team, by the way, um, and with Steph Curry and Golden State. So ex- the expectation is that there could be a new team to take the throne, and the Thunder are aware of that. So
yeah,
they're going to be hoping for a boost from some of their new pickups and their pickup in Nikola Topic, who didn't play last year, and he's currently injured, I believe, so he's not going to be playing to
yeah. I don't
start
think
the
he'll
year.
be ready for the start of the season.
But yeah, being hunted, that gets you honorable mention for me.
Yeah,
Watching Jokic, I mean, forget the Nuggets. Just watching Jokic is fun to watch,
yep.
and what LeBron's gonna do in what could be his final season. We did not bring up the you did not bring up the
The
announcement,
yeah, the
the
ad.
second decision
No
that
reason
LeBron
to even
James
bring that up.
had.
That's just clickbait, money making. You know, I respect it, but it's corny.
I don't respect it, but at the same time, I knew what it was before it was revealed what it was because it wasn't a retirement thing. So I'm not sure why people believed that to the extent that they would buy $800 $900 Utah Jazz tickets
Yeah.
for the
What
Lakers
are we?
final game
Yeah.
against
What are we
Utah. I'd be
doing?
like, it, if you wanted to be realistic, LeBron's probably was never going to play in that game. The last game of the
No.
last game of the season, regardless of regardless of if he was going to retire or not. that last game of the season is in Utah.
Yeah, no, that's just
Uh,
not
uh,
happening.
uh, let's be serious. I believe that that the Utah is probably gonna tank. Like the Lakers are going to not need very much off of their roster to beat that team at the end of at the end of the season.
They have
So
Luca. Like,
yeah, I'm not sure if Luca or LeBron is going to play in that game. I'm not sure
yeah,
if
I
it's
mean,
going
they
to be
really only need
necessary.
AR.
The
They only
West
need
is tight.
AR.
The
That's
West
the
is tight,
AR
but
dude.
I'm not even sure if it's necessary. So the expectation of him even playing in that game, even if it was the last game on the Lakers schedule, I'm not sure where they saw that, but
And I think
wouldn't
that one of the
expect it.
reasons why they thought that was because Kobe had his retirement tour, obviously. Excuse me. And the Lakers were not good. So like he played like in that last game against the Jazz, funny enough. So maybe they were like, oh, it's gonna be like a farewell game. Like, no, like the Lakers are gonna make the playoffs. Um, if that's in the plan or not. Um, so yeah, I don't know. The guy suing him is interesting. Like, dude, like you did like he didn't say buy the ticket. Like he just made like a funny ad for Hennessy. Like it's just not you just kind of look goofy for suing him. Like it's about the morality of it, the guy said, I'm pretty sure.
Uh, oh, I'd be remiss to if I failed to mention that LeBron James is going to miss the beginning of the season,
Oh yeah.
and due to some kind of nerve issue
Yeah.
in his I think his right buttocks or something like that.
Yeah. And
Just
it's
some
glute.
a nerve ending somewhere, and it's undetermined how much time is he gonna miss. I got a surprise question off for you based on that. Do you think him missing the beginning of the season is related at all to not getting an extension?
Maybe. Maybe. I think so. I think
Nobody's ever mentioned that, and I'm surprised. I've looked all through social media and a
I
bunch of
think
stories, and nobody thinks it's a petty move to say that, "Hey, good luck without me, and see how y'all looking, and see if you're going to sign me to an extension at that point
yeah.
or not." It,
I don't know. I think I I don't really know really. Like I think yes, I think he's probably hurt, but I think the timetable for that, like he did go on Kai Cenat's stream for like the last day of Mafiathon, and he seemed to be fine on there. And then you get this news like a week later that he gets reevaluated in 3 to 4 weeks. Like that's keyword reevaluated then. So this injury is gonna last a lot longer, like he said. So injury, if it is as bad as it is, and maybe it is, and it's just we're just playing into the LeBron effect of like, oh, does he want to be in LA? But
it's
I
on
think it,
him. He the one that did the commercial,
yeah,
and then got us thinking. Maybe he's not being serious, and the
yeah,
only
because
thing.
he went on Kai Cenat's stream 2 weeks before the NBA season started, two and a half weeks before the season started, or whatever, 3 weeks. Like, when has LeBron truly like been like that? Like, and now then he was on another podcast, his wife's podcast, so that's a little different. But I don't know. He's also getting old, and so he kind of wants to do whatever. So that's also what you kind of have to factor into these things because it's like, okay, he's been in the NBA for what 23 years now, 22 years.
My dream I had the other day was like the Lakers end up being good as intended, even though LeBron kind of has somewhat of a down year for him, and then the
Yeah,
playoffs come and between him and Luca they explode the same way Luca and Kyrie Irving did, uh, and he ends up getting to the finals and winning his fifth ring, and he announces that the following season is his last season. So now everybody's wondering if he's gonna get six.
that would be pretty fire.
That was my
Real
dream.
life, that would be peak. That would be peak
I
NBA
was
right
like,
there.
that would be so crazy. There'll be so many eyes on the Lakers. You wouldn't be able to buy a ticket.
No, no, you would not. Like at
And
all.
this is when you buy the Utah ticket.
That's when you buy it. You like that. You don't buy a ticket to a game until like somebody actually announces it, unless it's like Malcolm Brogdon. Like you're like, oh, Malcolm Brogdon's my favorite player ever. I feel like he's
I
retiring
feel for
soon.
you.
That's when you buy that ticket. You don't buy it when LeBron wants a retirement tour. It's just how it is. Like he deserves a retirement tour too. So I don't know. I don't know. Anything else on the topic of these five teams you want to or that you're to watch going into the season?
Uh, I think Detroit would be interesting and
Yeah,
fun to watch, and that's because, and I'll go ahead and say it right now, I do think that there's a possibility that we got Cade Cunningham like a top five, top six MVP type of person, uh,
it wouldn't surprise me.
and and that's the reason why they should be interesting. Um, they're gonna get some players back that were injured, and
Yeah,
they have
Jaden Ivey's back.
continuity. Yeah, so it should
Asar is
be.
taking that next step.
Yep, they got a Thompson twin over there, and it should be fun. The Atlanta Hawks, I've been watching them. I tried to go to a Hawks game in January, but it got iced out. Um, Inability to get over there in that type of weather.
Damn roads.
But I did see them when they were in Houston, and they're a lot better. They got good pickups in Kristaps Porzingis, and that Jalen Johnson is really good. I saw him
Yeah,
in person in Rockets Hawks preseason, and he was good. Risa says needs to step it up. Based on what I saw in that preseason game, he might be okay, but they got a loaded roster in my opinion. I do feel like they could make
they
a
could
run,
go
and
to the
Trey
Eastern
Young wants to
Conference
be
Finals.
Trey Young, yeah, if Trey Young has one of those seasons where he's dominant, between points and assists and stuff like he usually is, then with that with that roster, they can actually do some things. So
Because Trey Young has
but those
gotten
the
to the
only
point.
those the only two teams I really like in the Eastern Conference. The rest of them, I feel like it's a struggle bus for the most part.
Fair.
Uh, the Knicks being the lone exception, as long as they stay healthy. But Philadelphia, I don't really like them health wise, and
Yeah. In my list, like obviously, like I have Washington in there. Like they're not going to be a playoff team unless like something crazy happens. Like I think they're 1 to 2 years away from like being planned. But like that's just going to be a fun young team to watch. Obviously, Sar, what's his name? The point guard out of Texas that they just drafted. What's his name? What's his name?
Trey.
Trey Johnson. You got Trey Johnson over there now. Jordan Poole's not there anymore. He's in New Orleans. New Orleans is another interesting team to watch. It's this list, even though I like it, and I was excited to like make the list. It's hard for me because it's like I want to watch all of these teams plus the other 11 team or more, however, whatever math. I'm not good at that. Whatever the next teams are, 21 teams in the NBA. Like I'm gonna watch every single one of those teams at least 2 to 3 times, like in the year, unless they're like terrible, like the Nets, like how like uh whatever his face said, like that they're gonna
Josiah.
tank. So I'll miss
Hmm.
out on that one. But yeah, no, that this list doesn't mean that these are the only teams I'm gonna watch. These are just teams that I'm gonna be like heightened focused on because they're just interesting teams to see. Obviously, a lot of them are playoff teams, but who knows like actually how good they are gonna be. Like Rockets, like they're good defensively, but can KD carry the offensive load? Is Wemby gonna be an MVP candidate? Is Dylan Harper gonna be good next to Fox? Does the Denver team as good as like they look on paper? I think they're gonna be better. Phoenix, I think they're just gonna be a fun team to watch. Charlotte, health wise, I have Brandon Miller to win Most Improved. Detroit, like you mentioned, Dallas, Cooper Flag, and then New York is New York. So they're always fun to watch with Brunson and the fellas. But yeah, those are the top five or top nine for me at least teams to watch going into this upcoming season. Anything else you would like to add?
Nope, it's
All
all
right,
good for me.
where can they find you?
I am at the Hero Joe, ThaHeroJoe on X, formerly known as Twitter, and also on Instagram. And you can find my articles on bellyupsports.com. The season starts next week, so expect some articles popping through.
You can find me on Twitter at Hammy2004. Hammy spelled Hamie, not Hammy. Obviously, you can find us at Hardwood Huddle. The Hardwood Huddle was taken. Like Hidro said, his latest article is in the description. Make sure to use Opus Clips for all your clipping needs. Uses AI tools. It's going to help me a lot going into the season. Obviously, off season, no clips are posted because it's just a lot of speculation, really, on what's happening in free agency. But I got a lot of. You get points using Opus Clips. It's kind of fun. It's like, oh, how many points do I got now? Yep, use Opus Clips for all your clipping needs. Thanks to BellyUp Sports. His latest article is in the description. Hidro, we'll see you later.
Peace.